So our proposition is increase the restriction on undocumented immigrants. Illegal immigration is defined as unauthorized or undocumented immigrants who migrate across national borders in a way that violates the immigration laws of the destined country. Most unauthorized residents either enter the United States without inspection or admitted temporarily and stayed past the date they were required to leave. Illegal aliens are divided into two categories: those who crossed the border illegally and those who entered with visas, and non-immigrants and stayed illegally. Those who crossed the border illegally are classified as EWI, entered without inspection. According to the census data in 2008, 11.1 million immigrants came to the United States that year. This creates problems for those who are citizens here because it increases job competition, drives down wages, and affects the economy. By increasing the restriction on undocumented immigration, it will benefit citizens of America. With all the undocumented immigration, more employers are dependent on those immigrants because they offer lower wages and immigrants and natives compete for the same jobs, and natives are always at disadvantage because employers would rather have the lower paying foreign worker. This makes it difficult for similarly skilled native-born workers to choose between accepting lower pay or working for the field at all. Labor economists have concluded that undocumented workers have lowered the wages of the United States. Adults without high school diplomas, which is around 25 million people. Not only do they take away work and increase competition, but also increase tax dollars for taxpayers. In 2009, $11 to $22 billion was spent on welfare to illegal immigrants by state governments. $1.9 billion a year is spent on food assistance such as food stamps, WIC, and free food lunches at schools. $1.6 billion is spent on federal prisons and court systems. About 21% of the prison population is classified as non-citizens and 5% listed as unknown. Illegal households only pay about 1/3 of the amount federal taxes that non-illegal households pay, but they still reel in the benefits that take away the taxpayers' money. USA Today had a quick survey that was conducted in December 2007, asking the readers, should illegal immigrants be allowed to use public services? The result obtained 2,981 voters, and the vote came out to be 13% said yes, they should be allowed to use public services, and 86% said no, they should not be allowed to use services, and 1% said they don't know. The U.S. has a responsibility to protect the economic interests of all of its citizens. But because of the illegal immigrants taking jobs and bringing down the economy, the government is not fulfilling its job. The government should increase regulation on undocumented immigration, need to increase the number of border crossing prosecution, and hire more border control guards. If illegal immigration continues at its current rate, millions of undocumented immigration will flood our schools, hospitals, and other social services. Immigration and their children made up 32% of those in the United States without health insurance in 2009. America has a broken immigration system, and we need to reform that would boost our economy. On June 27, 2013, the Border Security, Economic Opportunity, and Immigration Modernization Act, or S744, passed through Senate. This is a broad-based proposal for reforming the U.S. immigration system written by a bipartisan group of 8 senators, also known as the Gang of 8. This includes Senators Charles Schumer, who's a Democrat, John McCain, who's a Republican, Richard Durbin, Democrat, Lindsey Graham, a Republican, Robert Mendez, Democrat, Marco Rubio, Republican, Michael Bennet, Democrat, and Jeff Flake, a Republican. The bill will recognize that the primary tenets depend on the securing U.S. sovereignty and establishing a coherent and just system of integrating those who seek to join American society. It implements a comprehensive security strategy for achieving and maintaining an effective control between and at the ports of entry in all border sectors along the southern border. President Obama said that it's good for economy, it's good for our national security, it's good for our people, and we should do it this year. Rather than create problems, let's prove to America, people, that Washington can actually solve some problems. Although I agree with the process of increasing security, I disagree with one aspect of the bill. The bill also states that it will supply legal status to 11 million illegal immigrants within the United States. It does say that it will be difficult or impossible to become a legal resident due to drunk driving convictions, gang activities, domestic violence, passport fraud, and identity theft. But how about the others? Is there a way to do a background check on all 11 million immigrants? Who gets to qualify them for the legal status? Is it first come, first served? And if that is the case, then who is to know that the people that registered first wasn't a criminal in a different country? Who is supposed to determine the 11 million illegal immigrants that will soon to be legal? According to FAIR, Federation of American Immigration Reform, each year the Border Patrol apprehends hundreds of thousands of aliens who are flagrantly violate our nation's laws by unlawfully crossing U.S. borders. Such illegal entry is a misdemeanor, and if they repeat that after deportation, it becomes a felony. We are awarding criminals by giving legal status to 11 million illegal immigrants. So we're basically awarding them for coming here illegally.